wild card. What if we just started talking?
We can't just start talking.
Why not? Because you're too lazy to record an intro after and put it at the start?
I will record an intro. I always do. Have you listened to the show?
Yes, once. And I wasn't a fan.
Okay. That's my co-host Adam, everybody.
Oh, God,
hey, welcome
recording?
to the Experience Milwaukee podcast. Is it recording? It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay. Welcome to the Experience Milwaukee podcast. This is Steve Glenn. That was Adam Darris.
This is Adam Darris and continues to be.
This is the way.
This is the way.
All right. So, you guys were talking movies. Some people in this room were talking movies before, or shows.
Yeah.
We
were talking The Witcher, and now I guess we've moved on to Mandalorian. So if you've added Disney Plus for the low price of $8 a month,
no,
you
I
have
added
the joy of seeing Baby Yoda.
I added Disney Plus for, I think it was $6.99 for
hosed.
Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's only $7.
Yes, I think something around there.
Nice.
Yes,
I did not know that. We got it for
now
free
you do.
because we have Verizon. But
you should listen to the show more often.
It was $8.
So, Adam,
Steven,
we have two entrepreneurs on the show today. Jacob,
let's keep them silent for another 20 minutes while we just talk about movies and TV shows.
Their heads are. They're wondering what the hell's going on here. Jacob Carlson, Ian Buchanan from Helium Books.
And we're going to learn all about it.
We're going to pretend. Well,
We're going to pretend that we did not do our research, and you guys wandered into our studio, and you were like, hey, we had this really cool idea that we executed on.
And we just happen to be recording a podcast episode.
We're like, you know what we should do? Break out mics and talk to you guys.
Let's do it. Hey,
And then
Jacob
drink
and
your
Ian,
beer
welcome to the
afterwards.
show.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So much for having us, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is awesome. We are at the Transfer Pizzeria Cafe Studio in the new upstairs studio.
Very exclusive. So exclusive.
That the
It's
table
still being built.
Very new, yes.
Yeah, very new. The table's kind of small, so we're all pretty close.
Yeah.
It's an intimate setting.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Us being nose to nose was a little weird, but I'm getting used to it. Everybody smells good.
We're gonna be here for a while, so you should. Everyone does smell very nice. Maybe it's just the beer that I smell.
It might be.
So thanks to our sponsor, Transfer Pizzeria, we're going to get into some things with them in the next episode. But for now, we're talking Helium Books. I think we should pretend, let's pretend nobody knows. Adam, I think, was alluding to it. You guys showed up. You're like, I heard you guys do a podcast. Let's do one right now. And we just happen to have our equipment, and we were at Transfer together. Let's learn more.
What if we set up a bigger intro to this? What if we... Just kidding. Please, don't leave us hanging. Tell us about Helium Books.
Yes, you guys figure out who starts, introduce yourself, give a little bit of background about you, and then how you got here, and then figure out on the fly, on the spot, who tells us more about Helium Books. Because I love it. I love the idea. I love what you guys are doing. It's so awesome. All right, so we'll stop.
Okay, yeah, let's dive right in. My name is Ian Buchanan. Currently, I'm a financial professional working in downtown Milwaukee for a company called Duff & Phelps. But I think how I would describe myself really is as more of like a creator, a builder in a sense. I've really turned that into defining my purpose and what I want to do for the rest of my life, and that's to, create things that help people in the world flourish, and that's kind of led me into this Helium Books idea. Before I get into that, I'll let Jacob introduce himself.
Yeah, gee, thanks. Don't forget about Jake. Thanks, Ian.
I'm really passionate about...
yeah.
Oh, hey, are you still here?
Oh, wait, no.
You're way at the end of the small table. Yeah,
I am. So, yeah, to even just provide some context of how Ian and I know each other is we actually attended the same middle school together. Went to high school together, and ever since then, I couldn't shake him. He's always been coming back wanting to hang out.
Do you really
with me.
want to,
Yeah.
though? Do you really?
he's true.
It's true.
You hide a lot. And he shows up.
And
He's
he
like,
just kind of
wait.
comes around the corner.
Hey,
but
It's like how they found the podcast.
that persistence.
Yeah, it was just happenstance.
It was weird that they were standing outside
Yeah,
while we were walking
in the snow.
They're like, hey, you guys going to record tonight?
Yeah.
And we're like,
What?
What?
Yeah. What middle school?
We attended Whitefish Bay Public Middle School and High School together.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
cool.
Yeah, so just right up the road here, just a suburb north of the city of Milwaukee. But a little bit about me. Post high school graduation, attended the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, studied business management, and ever since then, I've been in just the business sector. And we've always had entrepreneurship in our blood. Even in high school, we even started our own landscaping company that
Nice.
We ran with one of our other high school buddies as well. So it's kind of just always been ingrained in us. And I think just the mentality of finding just those passions in mine is just people.
Yeah.
People are my passion in something where we had an idea, obviously, with landscaping and helping out, elderly or anyone else who really couldn't, maintain their lawn. And even now with Helium Books, to what Ian was saying, just finding that cause and him wanting people to flourish, and that really just being the sole focus of it.
That's awesome. And so, Ian, I applaud you. Like, you figured out everything at a very young age.
I hope so.
Yeah. 'Cause I know people
I mean,
like
you're in
very
the
early
king
to
chair
say.
today, so
He
you must
sounds
have-
like it, right?
you
that's
must
a
have figured it out.
giant
Very
chair.
established.
These are like very odd, an odd mixture of
We
chairs.
have a nice smattering of chairs,
Yeah.
people on the podcast.
It's,
We-
ecle-
we're
it's
not-
eclectic, just like
Yeah.
like Milwaukee.
and,
Yeah,
and this
exactly.
and this
Perfect.
show.
And well,
Yeah, kind of.
okay.
When Adam listens.
That one
So,
time.
what is Helium Books?
Yeah, great question. As far as we know, Helium Books is the only consistent way for readers in Milwaukee to get free books delivered to their house. And the way we do that is through a system of library source book delivery. And I guess the best way to illustrate that is to kind of walk through how this experience works for a customer. So Steve, say you wanted to rent a book.
Yeah.
or
He
get-
doesn't know how to read. That's funny though.
Well, say you
It
know
has
how
lots
to
of
read.
pictures. Let's say it has pictures.
You can rent
Yeah.
picture
Yeah.
books too.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Audiobooks.
Those two. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could go to our website heliumbooks.com, and then you could enter the book that you want to read or multiple books, and we will source them from Milwaukee County libraries, and we'll also deliver those books to your house. And being that they are library books, they do have to be returned. You can't steal them and take
Damn
them
it.
forever.
Yeah.
We will pick them up and return them for you, or renew them if you want to have a longer time reading them.
That's
so,
awesome.
Do
Yeah,
you
that's-
actually show up at people's houses to collect the books then, or do you?
Oh yeah,
have them
absolutely.
Yeah,
Just-
so it
so
just
cool.
yeah, it depends on where they want their drop off and pick up location to
Sure.
be.
Yeah.
So more often than
My
not.
bedroom, please.
Yeah, we will not enter the domain, but we will leave it on
Yeah.
the
unless
front
they leave the
stoop.
door open.
That
you
is
know?
Yeah.
an insanely smart idea, especially for
What?
nothing.
Those aren't pillows.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Yes,
Yes.
but it
So-
truly is just reading made easy, and it's really just focused around convenience for the reader.
Sure.
So there's just tons of obstacles that, I mean, even just going back to the original idea, I don't know if Ian, you want to kind of touch on that
Yeah.
of where the genesis of it
Sure.
came from, but
Yeah, absolutely. So graduating college a couple years ago, it's nice to have that freedom. I don't have to study anymore, which is great. It's a great feeling, like you kind of that monkey's off your back in a sense. But it's kind of all up to you at that point to continue your education. And I knew my way to do that was through reading books, and never being one to want to spend $1 where I don't have to. I figure libraries were the way to go. So I
They're
would,
cheap, you say.
a little bit cheap.
he just came
No,
out of
I
college.
prefer-
He has the
right.
frugal
Yeah.
mindset.
I was gonna say I prefer
You're
frugal.
still eating
Efficient.
mac and cheese every day.
Efficient, yes, yes.
That's very true. So I would go to my local library, and I'd have a reading list of books that I wanted to read. And a lot of the times they weren't at that library. They were somewhere else within that system of Milwaukee County libraries. But, if that book was in Franklin, I'm not going to drive down to Franklin from Whitefish Bay.
Who would?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm
to
kidding.
go get that book.
I love Franklin. Yeah.
And so I figured, other people are probably having this issue, and kind of how you bypass that in today's system is you put a hold on that book and you get it delivered to your home library, but that can take days to weeks to actually get there. So, the idea kind of came about as a solution to this problem, just to eliminate the need to travel for the book you want and get the book at the time you want it. So we're able to guarantee 48-hour or less delivery because, the books are in our backyard. They're just around Milwaukee County, so we can get them whenever.
And often I bet it's people who can't do that anyway. They can't
Exactly.
get out of
yeah.
their house
That's
and
what
get
I was
somewhere.
thinking too. Is who are your customers right now? Is there a specific age range or type of place that people are renting from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's certainly a lot of friends and family. We're just starting out.
Yeah, obviously.
But they're supportive, and we
They're
appreciate
good. That's
that.
Great.
They want to watch Ian and Jacob just
I'm
drive,
already
drive everywhere.
Well, see, I'm already
Exactly.
I'm already thinking of my wife who likes to take my son to the library, but he also kind of like throws fits sometimes, and he's super embarrassing. So it would be really nice for her to get the really cool dinosaur picture books that he loves so much without having to go to the library and
With your embarrassing son?
Yeah, and risk the meltdown.
No,
And I'm like,
right.
oh my God, that would be so cool.
So I was talking to John, who's one of the owners here at Transfer, before you guys showed up, and he said, "Oh my gosh, my wife and daughter, like, they are constantly at the library with tons of books, but it's not so easy. Even though the library is like just a couple blocks away." To have a service that would just come get the books, like, we're all lazy, right? We can, wherever we can save time, wherever we can save money, whatever. They would love if there was a service, which I said now there is. Put the books out, someone picks them up, order your next round, they show up.
Yeah, I mean, we were just such a ingrained now in our culture and in our society where we just prefer convenience so much so that, quite frankly, we expect it.
Exactly.
I mean, good and bad, no matter
Thanks,
how
Amazon.
you phrase it. But yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jeff. But I mean, it's for the embetterment of everyone too, because if you do want a book, 48 hours or less, and we'll deliver it to you too. So
That's awesome. So what have been some of the coolest experiences so far, if there are any? Because starting a company is hard, right?
Very,
starting
yeah.
and I imagine
There's a grind. Yeah.
grind. We're making jokes about you guys driving around, but in the early days of a company, you're literally every part of the company. So what have been some of the coolest maybe stories or experiences that have emerged from running Helium Books?
yeah, so I'll start. I think a lot of times it's just receiving validation, and a lot of times, not to say when you hear that from family members or friends, it doesn't carry much weight, but you kind of almost expect that from them, of them being supportive, or even between Ian and myself, if we're working on something, it's like, wow, this is really cool. It's like kind of that's the expectation level. But one of our Helium family members, every single time they're done reading, they actually write a letter. And it's just so cool because
So it's not a friend or family.
It's
This is
not a
just
friend
part
or
of the
family
Helium
member.
community.
Just a part of
Yeah.
the community. Writes a letter, and so much so that it's helping them just improve in different aspects, and then
Wow.
also even spurred some interest in writing their own book.
Jeez.
So just hearing stuff like that and just receiving
That's
that
really
is
cool.
like, to what Ian's point and my point were at the very start of this, of passion is people want to help people flourish, and this is exactly why, among other reasons, but why we got in here.
Yeah.
So that's definitely mine.
What
but-
reinforcement.
Right?
That's awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah, and to add on to that, like you said, that customer love is really well received by us, and that's really the reason we're doing it, to provide value to people where they didn't have that before. And like you mentioned, Steve, that grind, it is a grind, absolutely, but we've come to accept it and, really appreciate it and, in a sense, love it. So we'll just, every night we're doing something, every day we're doing something, and when you get that customer appreciation, then like it's just a driving force even more to keep going and keep pushing.
Yeah.
Because it's being received well out there.
So I have to ask, like, the library people, do they you guys walk in, they're like, oh, hey, Jacob. Hey,
First
what
name
you-"
basis.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
walk in, they're like, oh,
What's up, dude?
we got your books right over here. Okay. Yeah.
Quiet.
Someone in the back. I get my own books, and I'm reading right now. Easy, Mrs. Jones.
Yeah.
Settle down.
It's fine.
Yeah,
I'm keeping you in business. It's cool.
Are you known at all the libraries now?
I wish we were, but no.
Oh, so you just sneak in and get the books and
Ooh,
sneak
so
out?
There are a ton of libraries too.
Yeah.
So obviously the books we're getting aren't just from the Central Library, for example, downtown. So, but
Yeah, they're scattered. There's like 25 within Milwaukee County,
my
which
gosh.
is
I had no
surprising to a
idea.
lot of people.
You can take a note out of Ian Epstein's book and
Yeah.
dress up in like a really wild red leisure suit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
walk
wear
in
like
there.
a purple hat
They'll
or something.
notice you
Yeah.
after a couple of days.
the red jumpsuit guy."
What is going on with this guy?
there's
It's
that
fresh.
helium boy again.
He is walking on air.
Not that you want to. I don't know if you want to do that or not, but it would be funny.
So
At the very least.
it would be funny. I don't know, but how eventually, or are you now? How does the company make money to sustain? What's the plan? I mean, sometimes startups start with more of a freemium type of launch plan. So I'm just wondering, like, how do you guys ultimately quit your day jobs, buy islands, boats?
It goes from quitting your day job to buying an island.
Well,
That's the next logical
isn't that-
step.
Sold.
I'm
I'm sold.
It's
I want to do that. Can I do
the
that?
logical step. It's not even the next. It's the next logical.
It's the logical
Yes.
next step. Buy an island.
Yeah.
Got it.
Have you
Okay.
heard of it?
No.
Okay.
Obviously.
All right. So how do you guys do that?
Yeah, like you mentioned, like that freemium model. We're purposely not making money right now.
Uh-huh.
We're trying to test the idea. We're still only about maybe half a year in at this point. And once we get that validation that we're really looking for in terms of, velocity of orders and consistency, we will start charging incrementally, bumping it up to like a dynamic pricing model in
Yeah.
a sense, kind of that working like your Uber Eats model, something like that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's really
High
just
demand books or like things like
yeah,
that.
or
Okay.
just like if we have to travel farther
Yeah.
based on distance, sort
Yeah.
of stuff like that.
purple leisure suits, like you or red.
Yeah.
you said, yeah.
If you want it delivered in a sexier car.
Yeah.
That costs way more.
In the
Yeah.
house.
And
And
feel
then
free
in-house
to
delivery.
feel free to tip too.
yeah. Mr. Johnson, where are you? I'm in here.
I'm not- I'm not going
I
in
can't
there
bring a book
again.
in there.
Not
you
happening
can't have
again,
books in there.
bud.
Yeah.
I'm leaving it at
not
the door.
happening again. So let's flip it a little bit. Why Milwaukee? Why? I mean, besides, I assume
That
you
you
guys.
grew up there.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
you grew
it's
up
a
here,
good
you're
reason.
from here. But why Milwaukee to start this company? You could start anywhere. You can go anywhere and start this company. Why here?
Yeah, it's very true. I think we wanted to start at one because it is our hometown, and we want through this business to, as the name Helium implies, elevate Milwaukee as a community and as a group of individuals. But kind of second to that, it is a very involved reading community already. So even going back to 2016, there was millions and millions of visits to libraries within Milwaukee County alone.
Jeez.
And there aren't even 1 million people living here. So that goes to show, how much people are kind of taken to
Actually
reading as a
going.
hobby.
Yeah.
We're getting
And
schooled on library knowledge.
We kind of are. It's awesome.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it is more interesting like once you dive into it.
Yeah.
Stuff you never really consider. But yeah, like I said, it's a vibrant reading community, and from what we've seen so far, it's encouraging to have some hope that we can capture some of it
Yeah.
Cool.
through what we're doing. Yeah.
I have
Yeah, what?
a couple of quick questions.
Do it.
One's an easy one. Anything in the library? So would that include movies?
Yeah, you
Or
could.
audiobooks?
Technically, yes.
Technically,
Yeah.
yes. Is there a technicality that I'm missing?
we market it as books because that's just like
Obviously.
the most
Well,
popular
it's
choice.
the huge
Yeah.
But
section of it.
If you were to say I want a movie, we could accommodate that.
Yeah,
Okay, because
Absolutely.
I actually have a few friends who wait until they get to the library so they can rent them for free.
Okay.
And I
Ah.
would promote this to them because they are usually working during the day and may not make it to the library, so
Right.
they usually did it on the weekends. Anyway, it
Yeah.
was
Toss out our name.
it was a crazy idea. And then two, we might be getting to it, but how the hell does it work? I'm already in it
That's
to
a
win
great
it, and
question,
I'm like,
yeah.
I want to know how it works. How do I do it?
Everything online? Besides you guys driving around and getting books? and
Besides
stuff?
us driving around and getting the books and delivering it, yeah, everything is online. I know Ian kind of touched on this, but we have just a website, heliumbooks.com, and there's a rental form right on the page that you can go to. So if you already know what book that you have in mind, you just fill out the form, fill out the title, the author. You can choose 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, put it out there. We'll get it. We'll check to see what's really available within the Milwaukee County system, because obviously we still have to adhere to library rules. If all the
Yeah.
books are checked out, we can't just bring it to you. But
Not yet.
not yet.
Yeah.
But we'll send you a confirmation email saying like, hey, Steve and Adam, we have all your books. Expect it. Look out for a little blue bag within 48 hours. You'll get your books. You'll read them. You'll have a little reminder that you'll get of saying, hey, your books are due. Then once you have that, you go back to the same website, heliumbooks.com, to fill out a return form.
Oh, nice.
And the best part is you don't have to leave your house. You don't need a library card. Like I
You
said,
don't need anything.
You don't need anything.
Just the
You just
desire.
need
All
to-
you
to
need
a
to
couple
live.
minutes
You just
online.
need to
Yeah.
live at home. So
That's
you
all
can
you need to do.
return,
Live.
So you can
Live.
just live,
Just
and you
live,
can get
and you
books.
can use this service.
We will even bring it to you
incredible.
at work.
At work.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, you pick
Dude.
the destination.
Anywhere in Milwaukee County,
Milwaukee
we will
County.
deliver it.
Yep.
This is. I mean, I see the value. Don't get me wrong, but this is like scratching the inner lazy person inside me. Like, because my daughter just had to get. She's in a battle of the books at school, and there were a few books that they had to read that were not available at the Greendale Public Library, and so she had to look around the system and order them, and it ended up by the time they were even ready, it was too late. And so it
Yeah.
would have been cool to have some service that, if had I known at that time,
Mhm.
she could have used, and just sit back and relax and have a Manhattan.
I was thinking, and have a
Or
Manhattan.
two.
Or two, yeah.
Whatever floats
Your book will be here.
So, we're diving into some of the benefits here.
Yeah.
We're diving into school benefits. We're diving into people who may not be able to make it to the library. Steve, the lazy people.
Yeah, the lazy people
who
out
just
there.
want to read their picture books.
Yeah, because I can't read.
What other targets or what other ideas did you have around delivering books to people in need?
Yeah, so one of our big plans for 2020 is actually to get our service into like retirement homes and assisted living communities.
Oh man, I didn't want to say it, but that was what I was leading toward. Oh,
Like,
Well,
that's great.
Adam might be able to help with that.
I might be able. I probably can't help, but I'll try.
But we have some friends.
We do have some friends.
Justin Smith.
You know,
That's incredible.
any connections would be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because those are hard to get into. Just
They
to have a
are.
warm introduction would be
Yes.
huge. Yeah.
We definitely do. Let's talk about that after the show. We have some connections.
Great.
Besides the name I screamed out, but.
Besides
Yeah.
the name, we'll bleep out.
All right, so
like
we're
you swore.
gonna go way off the business topic because I think we covered it well. Unless you have more questions, I always
I
cut
don't.
you off your questions. Okay.
But thank you.
Well, you're welcome. So let's get into so you guys. All right, you have this company, you have the history, you have the middle school. You're like, I was hoping when you said in high school, you said landscaping. I was hoping it was like sold candy bars because I thought we'd have that connection, but we don't. So that's okay. You can
So
stay
we'll
on
end
the-
it
you can
here.
stay on the
Thanks for
podcast.
having
Yeah.
us, guys.
You can stay on the podcast.
Test failed.
Yeah, you're out. We're not going to help you. But how do you guys, being from Milwaukee and starting a company in Milwaukee, how do you describe Milwaukee to someone who's never been, and or if they go, why do you love Milwaukee so much? What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go first
Yeah, you
here.
can go first.
It's a city that, no doubt about it, is up and coming.
Yeah.
And I mean, even just living here post college now for the last few years, I know this might not make sense, but you can just sense it of just this young, raw energy throughout wherever you go.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, it's just exciting to be a part of that and put a whatever tiny stamp or maybe what would prove to be a large stamp with Helium Books, but just to be kind of part of that is fantastic.
That's
and
cool.
I would also say, and this is a word that we both love, it's a city that has grit. And when you think of Milwaukee, it's
It
just
does.
that classic Midwest feel, small enough, but obviously with, in recent years and months, just a technological boom and companies being attracted here.
Yes.
Obviously the DNC here at the end of July. Brewers being good, the
Yeah.
Bucks being good. There's a lot going for the
That is
414.
So true.
My
That is so
hockey
true.
team.
Yeah,
is
your
doing well.
over 40 hockey team that you joined.
Yeah,
That's
they're
Oh, I've heard
the
about
Old
it,
Man Hockey League. Yeah,
Yep.
they're doing really well.
It
too.
is actually called the Old Man Hockey League, right?
I'm in two. One is Old Man Hockey. The other is just the Pettit.
How do you guys
Loser
hold,
league.
So how do you guys hold the hockey stick and the walker at the same time?
It's super easy. You just tape it with hockey tape
You walked right into that.
right in the front.
Yeah, as you were talking, I was thinking, oh my gosh, think of all the stuff that's being invested in Milwaukee right now. We have the Fiserv Forum. We have everything around the Fiserv Forum. Milwaukee Brewing, Mecca, Punch Bowl Social, Drink Wisconsinably, everything that's popping up there. Plus you have, I mean, we're going to get 5 or 6 new breweries in 2020 this year. And we already have 29 or 30 breweries right now just in Milwaukee County.
Adam likes beer, if you can't tell.
I'm a beer guy,
Yeah.
so
Dropping knowledge
Beer-
bombs left
yeah,
and right.
Yeah, I know.
here.
It's
I
like-
am. Sorry, I pulled the pin and didn't tell you
Get
guys.
beer and read.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you'd like to have a delicious porter or some sort of ale and read a book, I think you found your favorite place. Go to Helium. What is the? You should probably drop the website. What is the website?
Yeah, heliumbooks.com.
Heliumbooks.com. That's the easiest website you could possibly remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of any one easier than that.
Definitely not Google.
Probably,
no.
yeah.
What- I don't even know what is that. Anyway,
Got me. Good one. Got
So-
the king chair for a reason.
so we're gonna we're gonna slowly wrap up because
Like in slow
it always
motion.
takes us a long time. So young entrepreneurs in Milwaukee
With grit.
with grit. What are some of the hidden gems? Where do you guys go that
Ooh,
you're
that's a
like,
good one.
don't tell anybody about this place that you're gonna now tell
That you're gonna
everybody,
tell
about
everybody
this place? Yeah.
On the Experience Milwaukee podcast.
What are your hidden gems, or what are your places like you feel
Maybe
are
not
more
even-
low key?
Yeah, maybe not
yeah.
even hidden gems, but maybe like places you guys like to frequent.
Yeah.
That you're really proud of.
Even if it's just one.
Yeah, I have a couple that come to mind. So I was talking to Adam before we hopped on the podcast. We actually live right by Lakefront Brewery, right on Commerce Street.
Okay.
Right up the hill, little breakfast joint. If you want to order beer, you can order beer. Great coffee, and it's Uncle Wolfie's.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so
I
it's,
love Uncle
it's
Wolfie's.
right by
Yeah.
right by View MKE. So it's
Yeah.
just a wonderful spot in a nice little neighborhood, indoor, great food, just kind of like that
It's
modern diner feel.
Yes, I was gonna say that
Yeah.
because it's like I was gonna say fancy diner, but a modern diner is probably a more elegant way to put it because it is like there's some sass.
There
in
is
the
some
staff.
sass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, like, if you don't order the right thing, they're gonna tell you like you don't want that.
No,
today.
no,
Yeah.
that's a mistake,
Really?
Jake.
Here's, yeah, they'll be like, here's what you're gonna want today. I'm like, what? I don't. How do you
How
know
do you
that?
know?
Because I'm looking at you and I just know what you want today. But they know, and then it's excellent.
You're an omelet guy, I can
Yeah.
tell. Shut up and
Yeah.
get the omelet.
You know what you want. I heard you talking.
That's really cool. Okay.
Like they should all be. Never mind. And Ian, your fave.
Well, first off, I would have to say libraries.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, dude, you are
I
always
gotta
on.
stay on
Yeah,
brand.
he's always in there.
Honestly, though, they are not like the outdated facilities that you think of when you think of libraries.
Pretty welcoming, actually.
Very, yeah. If you just want to do anything, go
They
to
get
a
a bad
library.
rep for the librarian stuff.
You
but
started it.
I did. I continued it. But I agree.
Outside of that, this is a place that Jacob and I went to maybe a year ago. It's called Nine Below. It's like a mini putt place on North Ave.
Great for corporate events too. By
yeah,
the way,
absolutely.
We did a
Really?
event there. Yeah, it's.
But
awesome.
it's super fun. You just like get to build your own mini putt hole, and then like the other groups that are there, you go around playing each other's hole. And there's an open bar there. You
It's
get
right
the
off
whole
of North
experience.
Ave, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
right,
right on.
underneath
It's like
Beans and
underground.
Barley.
Beans and barley.
Ah.
I could not think of the restaurant name.
I think that's the first mention of that place. Both of these places on
Yes,
the show
It is.
in over a year, or a year.
or a
like
year.
you said.
Yes. Yeah.
Almost.
So you go get
2
breakfast
years.
at Uncle Wolfie's. You go to a library, then you go putt putt. You know
Yeah,
what?
you don't know. You don't
That's
have
a-
to go to the
that's a
library
heck of a day.
because the books are
Yeah.
already at your house.
Deliver them to
True.
Uncle Wolfie's. That's what I would
Deliver
do.
to Uncle
I would do
Wolfie's.
that.
Well, you're getting
I'll be there.
verbally
Are you sure you'll be
abused
there,
and eating
sir?
your
I'll be
omelet.
there every day. Yeah. Quit yelling at me. What? We're just asking. Anyway, so couple last questions. Helium Books. What's the future look like? How are you guys feeling? Where's it going? All that stuff.
Yeah, like I mentioned, we're trying to get into facilities right now. That's the big plan for 2020.
So that'll happen because we're going to help you.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yes.
So beyond that, we're just trying to be like an elevating force in Milwaukee. So what we do with each order, we donate $1 to a local cause that.
So you're doing it for free, and you take $1 out of your pocket.
We're losing a lot of money.
Yes.
We are
That's
hemorrhaging money
amazing.
like crazy. Please let us donate more.
But to us, that's more important than any money we'll make out of it. It's just lifting up the people that live in the hometown that we love.
Love it.
so
Wow, you guys
This
are
is the
what
most
makes
altruistic
Milwaukee
business.
great.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, say that again because I talked over you, and that is really
Only every
important.
day.
Yes, go.
So you guys are what makes Milwaukee great.
Yes.
That
Thank
is why we do the podcast in the first place, because of all this cool stuff and the fact that you're doing this and donating on top of doing this out of the goodness of your hearts.
That's incredible.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we also have something else coming up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we have a book club that we are starting.
Really?
So we're really trying
That's
to
awesome.
focus on community involvement
Mhm.
now within, obviously, members of Helium, but also just the city and county of Milwaukee. So there's a new wave of book clubs, and it's like these silent reading. So it's not a traditional book club where, everyone at
Everybody
this
just goes get
lovely
drunk.
Yeah.
big table with chairs widespread here that we're recording at, reading the same book and followed a structured format. It's, I'm bringing my own book, you're bringing your own book. If we want to have a dialogue of saying like, oh, hey, Steve, what are you reading? Or, we can
Mad
engage
Libs.
in that, but Mad Libs or your dinosaur picture book.
Yeah, right.
But
I'm reading about the Stegosaurus.
What's a verb?
that's my favorite dinosaur too. But there really is no obligation for conversation. It's just creating a safe environment for readers to
Book
come
sharing.
read, book share,
Yeah.
bounce ideas off of, and just we're looking for like-minded and not so like-minded individuals to come and gather, and
Good
we want to be
conversation.
that meeting place for them.
That's awesome.
What I actually, when you started saying book club, I legit envisioned you with like the typical stereotype of housewives getting drunk at a really trendy restaurant, and like you showing up and being like, "So what are we reading tonight, ladies? What's going on?"
Yeah.
Who,
And
us?
they're
And yeah.
Who, us?
Yeah, they're like,
Couldn't be.
"Yeah."
Got your book delivery here, ladies. Who wants to read 50 Shades Darker? That's what I assumed, and I was like, wow, what a great in, because the next book they pick, they just go online and fire
Exactly.
off a bunch of forms to you guys, and you're like, oh crap, this is
Yeah.
what they're reading this week.
Yeah.
We got to figure this out.
Yeah, so our book club is actually going to be next week Thursday, so it'll be February 20th, and it'll actually be hosted by Hangout Milwaukee, so I'll give a shout out there.
Great.
On the east side, so we'll have a nice little space. So if you are listening, you're interested, you like reading, there will be an open tab there for snacks, beverages. Bring a book,
Come
and
hang out. Yeah.
That's awesome. It's
I'm
like a
gonna
whiskey
send my
club.
wife.
Yeah. Yeah, right. You
Go
should.
read.
It was just her birthday, by the way.
Yes. Yesterday.
Happy birthday, Amanda. Okay, so if people want to connect with Helium Books or you guys, how do they do that? Besides heliumbooks.com.
Besides filling out the form and
Yeah.
getting a book ASAP.
Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and where are you guys? Anywhere?
All the above.
All the
yeah.
above?
Plus
Nice.
LinkedIn a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So they'll
At
hit you
Helium
up
Books.
and connect, and
Yeah, if
or
you-
they can just hang out in the library.
And wait for you guys to
And
show
wait
up.
for
We'll
us to
eventually
show
be in
up.
the red
We'll be in the
suits.
red
And
suits.
you're-
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
be in the red leisure suits.
Yeah, but you can feel free to just shoot us an email if you're interested or you have questions. Ian at heliumbooks.com and Jacob at heliumbooks.com. Again, easy, just like our website.
Yeah. Perfect. That's awesome.
That's how we end it.
Oh, okay.
Just cut it off.
All right.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm just kidding.
Thanks, guys, for coming on the show.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
Yeah,
Adam
thanks for having
singing
us. We had
away.
a blast.
This is so much fun.
This is awesome.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Seriously,
Appreciate it.
thanks for what you're doing. Let's talk after about ways we can hook you guys up with some other people. So,
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
all right. Thank you. Dent
And now,
Black Belt Theater.
You ruined it. I'm doing it again.
You go.
And now, Black Belt Theater.
Sound with a wing.